Nyawo fudo chire wasem ni munyansa nyanu Rama yentia si fina yenya sasu diji kaya kuma bomu domu na yadoni pena. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Mama yenna nyamia sifi se oye na nadoye wo hoda yeda nyamia sibio se ene ukuada enwumrei eye na wotwi menka ne se yadru mfimfin yi nyamia ma ya akwan biem se ye metoa yadesua yeso ene de yebesusu ho no efa entawantawadie a eya na eba ya busua mu eba yefie eba ya wareye mu eba ya brabo mu se ye kan busua ho yi na yempa ye nyina ne se ene nso nyame be ma yen akwan baako ana mienu bi a ebetimi aboa yen ama entawantawadie no yetu ho anamo ne adi ho dwuma na eso ate na nsa na yebekoso no de yemfase mabe enum bi na enam se adesua ehya ase free homeda yedru boni beka se the middle of the week yedru mfimfin ni nti mesre se menya nipa baako ana mienu bi a so far den watie de na obetimi aka ye mfa ne ma yesua ho anything free Saturday bibia wati bia no betimi ni ache baako be 5 seconds and 10 seconds pe na ama ye hu se ye ntie ne kwa na emom ye tie no ye kaka ya dwene wo ho we yetrim ti mamentuma ye nyina we die yense bre ho just about a few minutes so we will be baako ana mienu bi a wo kai a obetimi abo ne tofa na woni ya che enti mamentuma mo na ye ni se adwuma no so obi oho bi di kan ya na
ba chwana me
yo
ai kana ntem na me ran fi yasua se de yakunu esitie ne yasua se de yire nso sitie efa se de onyankopon si bo yen ne yadwene mu nti se be ya ye be hu ne yatumi asiesie ye ho ama mema ne omo pe ye be ya ama wo mo na ne omo dwene ye be hu omo mobo saa na manso e de ensutie nti ama yasua pa se de ma sitie ne mema sitie na bibia ani ye surprise bra ni ye yire ana ye kunu tie no nti no de akamitiri mu pa
eda Daniel ase Pastor Hana beto aso de ye monitor tel hey aha ya ye din enfa ba kwa na mienu bi nka ho na ye nto aso mpam che hey Bracknell for your okay I think say ebia ye twen say actually and I will be kasa no the mute and I bit me on mute ho no akasa mpacho
Mr. Kakra mesua ene say ese ye mai yetimi ne ye krunum adwene bom Eye bibia bom. If you say ye dwene bom ne ye niema nyina bom yi a emankwala no so no esua yen enya enipa bi efri ye ho. Ti kakra mesua wo mu no.
Yɛda ase paa yɛda aboafo ne nyinaa ase enim sɛ ɛbrɛ hɔ anka emu bi nso bɛkyɛ bi na ɛnokorɛ deɛ aka ne nyinaa no ɛwom na empaeɛ a yɛbɔ nyinaa ne yɛ sɛ nyame bɛboa yɛn na wɔtwe no deɛ yɛate biara sɛ baako pɛ because tobia bia na nneɛma no yɛ adɔɔso ba sɛ baako anaa mmienu pɛ koraa na abɛtumi atum hɔ anammɔn a mesrɛ wo tu sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɛde nhyira ne anigye a yɛka ho asɛm no ɛbɛba w'abusua mu. Sɛdeɛ medi kan kaeɛ no ɛnnɛ yɛsua about conflict, managing conflict. Na ɛnnra adesua no menka ne sɛ yɛhu nneɛma a yɛde si ani soɔ ɛwɔ abrabɔ mu expectations. Na ɛnnra ɛnnɛ ne nyame boɔ ɔkyena adesua no ɛwɔ a lot in common. Ɛfiri sɛ ne nyinaa no ɛboa ɛma yɛyi ɔhaw ne atete ɛfiri yɛn so ne yɛabusua mu. Na ɛho hia paa sɛ yɛbɛhunu ɛkwan a yɛsi ɛfa so manage anaa yɛbɔ yɛabusua ho ban ɛfiri ntawantawadie ho. Ɛyɛ adeɛ baako a ma yɛnigye a wɔabusua no mu no ɛfiri hɔ. Nti ɛnra sɛdeɛ medi kan kaeɛ no deɛ ka ho asɛm no ebi was about expectation. Megye di sɛ ɛbrɛ wɔ mu a nke betumi adi ɛho nkɔmɔ kaaka yɛ ho adwene ɛne nneɛma but nneɛma mmiɛnsa a megye di sɛ ho hia paa nti mesan ati mu ansa na yɛakɔ deɛ no so. The three types of expectations a yɛn nyinaa tobere bi a ewia yɛn ɛma anigye a nyame pɛ sɛ yɛn nsa ka no yɛnya no. Yɛdi kan ɛyɛ imaginative gap, sɛ wode biribi asi w'ani so na kwan biara so ewuo nkwa wose kwan biara so wobɛduru ho na wose biara wom no nso ɛmmoa wo ma wonnuru ho. Ti create gap kɛseɛ ɛde atete bebree ba yɛ so ɛma anigye ankasa nyame pɛ sɛ yɛnya no yɛn nsa nka. Deɛ ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛka ho asɛm ɛyɛ interpersonal gap. Sɛ wo compare wo ho ɛne wabrabɔ ɛne deɛ wosi tena w'abusua no biribiara sitie no wo compare to other people. Wo de nkurɔfoɔ na ayɛ osusu dua. Nti ɛmada biara no na wo brɛ na wo running around if you so pɛ sɛ wo yɛ sɛ obi. Na deɛ ɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa ɛnso ɛyɛ intertemporal gap. Sɛ wohwɛ bi atebea bi a na wowɔ mu a na nkane no na nka yɛ papa kyɛn wo te bi a wowɔ mu no na ɛno ama ɛno nti da biara no you are living in the past. Broni bɛka sɛ ɛyi past glory. Make ya deɛ baako a bɛsi me tirim yɛ ɔhwɛ Ghana unse Kumasi friend a garden city. If you say ankane no ne nnua wɔ hɔ paa kyerɛ sɛ wura city ni mu a it was like a garden. And I think say okɔ now we are living in that past glory. And ɛho bɛhia sɛ yɛabrabɔ mu yɛabusua mu yɛadjust yɛn ho all the time to the reality a yɛwɔ no ɛnɛ. Na etimi aboa yɛn ama yɛn nigye. Bible asɛm ɔde maa yɛn sɛ do not worry. Yesu ka ne bebree do not worry. Fi sɛ nyame sɛ ɔbɛhwɛ yɛ so. Ɛnɛ deɛ no ansana ɛbɛto aso no me kan akenkan asɛm a yɛakan ne pɛn ɛyɛ Psalms 139 verse 14. Me kai wadwene ɛwɔ ho. Ɔse we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the conflict a yɛbɛka ho asɛm ni nyinaa na yɛbɛgyina saa asɛm yi so ne ahwɛ Nyankopɔn. Broni bɛka sɛ life lessons nneɛma a ɛwɔ yɛabrabɔ mu ɔde ama yɛn a ɛma yɛte atete ɛne conflict ase. Na ɛnam saa yɛ so no ama yɛtumi abɔ ho ban ɛyie. Mensi ɛtira ase na baabi a wɔ biara no yɛmmɔ mpaeɛ. Agya ɛdɔn na dubiem sɛ wokasa kyerɛ yɛn. Ade koro na yɛsrɛ wo sɛ ma ho nkonkron no mmra yɛn so na nsɛm a yɛka nyinaa no ɔnkyerɛkyerɛ yɛ ase ɔmo yɛnya nte aseɛ. Na ɛnam saa yɛ so yɛanyɛ tiefoɔ kɛkɛ na asesa ye bra ama ya ben ye mpa eboni ade srede ne wo Yesu din mu. Amen. Amen. Enti ye kan Psalm 139 verse 14. Se Nyankopon kwan fa so boy ye no eye fearfully and wonderfully. Ye di kan ka ho asem. But the kire ye se your body ye nipadua no eye very complex. Me de asem bi se bia to say ebra wo ti wo nipadua ase na wo hunu kwan a wo nipadua fa so ye complex no eboa wo ema wo ti nyame ase ema wo do nyame ana me de na wotwe mu de yaka nyina no akai me se ampa enye se mame eti nyame ase ema me do nyame enko akeke na emom ema me appreciate no, you know, until I live a thankful life. Metna se erade so the dakro kra kama brabo ho a medase. If you say you have made me fearfully and wonderfully, what bome stronko, what bome nwanwaso, what bome a ehu. Na usho ye nipadua mu a nipa bia no yesisi echi ha sei, you know, the lower section of your waist, and yet this part of the body, baby, a picture you know. Akwa bi wo ho, honam akwa bi wo ho, your friend kidney. Enim say kidney no, so wodi bibia enya eno na esone efin, etwetwe efin a ewo nipadua nim nyina no, na de aba odwunso twam na kyerese wadwunso agu. Na kidney ne sro no ye wo akwa mienu bi wo ho, broni beka se glands mienu ebi wo ho. Na glands no mo amahu se ye kuma boa dane ne ye no no ese wadwene pa the way atie no ene adwene the brain ese, but we say no we dey ewo o kidney eno so. Na ye frɛ no adrenal gland se uhunu adrenal gland na broni beka se a secrete and a produce insuo hormones, two type of hormones. In fact, it produce a lot of hormones. Insuo ahudo bebre na insuo no mienu bi a woman na me pese e ka ho asem. The first hormone are the adrenal gland. It produce in your friend adrenaline. And at the tosim in your friend cortisol. Now, what happens near say adrenaline and the cortisol yi eye insuo ahodo mienu a ene entawantawadie ana conflict we abrabo mu no e wotwaka bebre. It has a lot to do with conflict. The attorney say or how be abeba wa brabo mu bia no say ye big or small, medium bia no, the moment asa atete ne beba wa brabo mu pe no sa adrenal gland no it produce the adrenaline and the cortisol. Na the entire man ba na say the moment I obekwa atete mu bia no body ne very stressed, you know, we are stressed, we are minim say the mesifa achechire mu apart from say we say, you know, body no go into atete e ko atete mu, you know, and atete ne ba ye niema bebre bi ho na mfifire etew bi ho na no ase wani sukura brew utim say wo ho kyerɛ wo tetew sana conflict no eba wo so a wo body no eye na wo body no nyame abone say the moment a conflict beba wo so no ana bibia beba wo so no e kosa ate bia ne mu pe wo body no kosa ate bia ne mu a eye broni beka say a defense mechanism say de ebe ya ohaw no enku ohaw no nsewo. What actually happens say stress eba wo so a e kire yen eniema mienu enti obia wanya stress e won the body mu bia no e kire yen eniema mienu de dikan say bibia ba oni padua ni mu a tete wo is hurting you, is killing you, you know. Enti say bibia physical say se kan yatwa and say, you know, when you accident the moment ube go through saa te bia anim no stress ne ba pɛ ɛkyerɛ wo sɛ ye biribi ne free saa stress ne mti yi saa hurt ne free hɔ nti sɛ yɛ paneɛ na ɛwɔ wa the moment a paneɛ no bɛwura wɔ skin mu na wo body no go through that stressful moment no force wo sɛ to ade ne free hɔ na ahontɔ because you always open ahontɔ nti that is the first thing ɛkyerɛ yɛn. But the second thing ɛkyerɛ yɛn ne yɛ sɛ biribi ɛbɛsi nti yɛmfa ne sɛ wo ɛwɔ adwuma mu anaasɛ efie na wo nsa akɔhyɛ ɛpono ɛntɛm na ɛfɛ wo the moment a wo nsa ne bɛhyɛ mu a ɛfɛ wo no wobɛyi but sɛ udru situation bi sɛ asɛ obi ɛwɔ hɔ ne nsa hyɛ hɔ na ɛpono no ɛba sɛ ɛbɛfɛ no a that moment no ɛpono no nya mfɛ no but o body no go through a stage say bibi besi na saa de no is going to be hurting enti o body no still go through that stressful moment enti de ye ka ho asɛm nyinaa no ɛkyerɛ yɛn sɛ yes conflict ateti bia na ɛba yɛ nipadua no so through stress ɛno na stress bi ɛba yɛ nipadua no so no ɛma two lessons either you are hurting or you are going to be hurt. So these are the two things a cause way nipadua nim. Na ɛyɛ important say ehunu say the moment saa nneɛma mmienu nyinaa no this hormones a yɛka ho asɛm adrenaline and cortisol no produce ɛba. Into whether you are hurting or you are going to be hurt, adrenaline no ɛyɛ adwuma, cortisol no adwuma. In fact, adrenaline, according to a research, about within seconds, because our body need to mean reacting to amount that impulsive reaction. Emma won't to me any hurt in free ho. Cortisol no be able to me take a minute, but ni me no a year almost adwuma baako. Now, Diana we say yen. Mamo. A few examples. This is the second one. Set BB ABC. Na ujina ho na ABC na wo hwe ade no. Na BBN physically no BBN kan BBN touch you. But na uye mo hwehwe. For example, me de obi a wo te ahwe. Me sure say wo life mo so hu say obi free esro te ahwe a wani ahu no physical da. So who try when you go chia, who kind situation who call more, and answer who say will be a panel what the process within that short second, the process here, your body goes through something, this situation. If you have 50 and so BBN count physically, how do you react in any of these situations? I call out of a ball. If we come na ka DM when him say can speed the air, there's no way say bet me ejina. Your body reacts. It is important. It may ensure this animation and stress this point in your face. And then some year can in answer what tia see if we has here. Ebema the quiet your first manage conflict, aboying. You see, the moment when you be who adiano. When ni send the message to adwene now adwene through your nervous system maintain the connections adwene no wo no amma these two adrenal glands amma instructions say secrets get these chemicals out until as long as say when ni a process say bibi ebe happen sa de no eye Bibia eye bad, eye dangerous. Bibia ebetimi at ahadwen eno. When ni ehunu ye na send a signal ne ma wadwen. As long as when ni hu na ade na ekoso no. Wo two glands no. Security the cortisol ni adrenaline no eba woni padua nim. Ebe to aso produce but remember say Your body only needs these two things in a short term. Nyame aboyi nipadua ne se eye ade a yehia kakra bi at every given time. Because se etoa so se eba bebre a ebema wo nipadua no aye broni beka se hyper alert. Ebema as a all the time why reflexive, why impulsive, why say why then that defense mechanism is continuous, is chronic, is there every time. And they are very, very serious. It has a lot of serious implications to your health. The moment when ni ehu eniyama we say na air so every now and then, na air so security every now and then, a cause of heart to pump a lot of blood into your system, a cause the whole system to be in a state of defense. The question say, so what was our state anymore? Ubetimi aye bibia say minim situation any experience awo, but sometimes ya bra bomo no bibitimi si and who acted to say superhuman. Ebia wonam baby ina noise bi eba ye ehu ni ade a eche ni ayi no emrika wo tu ye no. That sprint emrika wo call ye no normal times untimi nkosa america no. Because what happens near said that you have cortisol and adrenaline keeping your body in a state the ridiculously surprising. Just would you know crana want to and you bet me I can be I could be sometimes BBC utimi shri utimi jani utimi eswadiemu peja akola utimi and this is some of the physical things body no enya adrenaline and cortisol no body no make you superhero. So this is where we have our problem when it comes to conflicts in the house. Unim say conflict atete conflict be ade atete ba conflict bring stress and the stress brain enti. So conflict no ade atete ni ade a long term e wo hoda bia na it means say wo body no react to some conflict we say every now and then. Assuming say yemfa na say wo adwumam ina wo boss bi wo boss no empe wasem ana wo ne wo issues bia the moment I be hu no ompe enti wo hu na the sight of him tells the brain your boss is a problem. You get stressed. That stress is because your eyes tell your brain. Now brain no actually adrenal gland. Now gland no secreted the two hormones no. Then your body chassis na fe ayedende na wote ho by just seeing your boss our hadwene. Enya no nko se wo efie na ukunu obi a or shout ne ma or shout nkwala and so what TTM what this happens said baby nkwala ne be hu papa no they respond to this as a conflict in themselves until they have a lot of adrenal glands and cortisol and nkwala ne ye niema. Sometimes they want to act it out, but I'm so you no or stress or best suppress, and that creates a lot of confusion in the whole body mechanism. And gradually a long-term lasting effects are a hankwalano, especially in their brain, from their brains to the rest of their body. Se mame eyobia enam se situation of wumu atete a wonu ekomu ni ade no nti wo share sa atete no share that conflict with everybody. Either say obotri modern and also what TTM and also wo bo ne ma And I say, oh yeah, all these things are, obo papa na trimodin, oh yeah, niema, Emma. One in the but anytime I be hununa or cause a situation, your body reacts. And said, twice now, so what is idea we say, Juana, what happens near say gradually it is killing you, a coon, but you don't see. Coon, and you say, Abi Abemo Kokoma, I'm one who said, no, amount directs a Name start affecting the rest of your body because your body is now beginning to act abnormally. Until it lead to a lot of sickness. Yare and na doctor for bebre 2 year for say ye niema e dia sumdwe ne ani gie ba wa brabo mfi say stress e kill it. It is only saying say bibia wo fear etete obia na it is causing you to produce and secrete more adrenaline and cortisol into your bloodstream, into your system. And because your body is always reacting, you are actually acquired to say what they taxi articulator. Your body is like an articulator. It becomes so hyper alert, and your organs near my body into me no for a long time. Into then emano ebre emano yare emano mu ahodensa na wo no ekun ketenkete. That is what stress is doing to us. Yenyina. Intimidator has said, when you experience anticipative stress in most long-term conflict or worry, remember, you can worry about harmful outcomes that may or may not happen. That is what we call long-term conflict. Your body is releasing this adrenaline and cortisol. The year can was saying in an year, say, Nema Bebre or Hoa, remember, and can be one sem, Nema Bebre or Hoa, they will not naturally happen. Yamfana say, be a more, why establish you, so the you be a we no nonsense, we are but say, oh, near maybe home. That has created that perception, ever busianim. Inti, u figurehead now, u body age now, u nipeduan age now, no. Also this long-term problems in the house. Inti sawahwa me de emfonibia to her say conflict be a way fear no. This is what is happening. Sometimes it could be so what normally, what fear, but se wukunu eye bibi enya the moment sa de ne be ba wutiri mu pe no wuti ho, but suddenly o body no enya this adrenaline and cortisol. It is but you are stressed and it is killing you. Into my end say you could even be in an office and wash a suit, but you are killing yourself because internal bodies no as a papa or namwe. What the ho as a suit no be all right, but body no money non-stop, and it is killing because you are always running, you are chasing and never catching up. Into the making Paul didn't have to go through the makomunina to make this important statement. Apostle Paul or say, so when papa ya won for ni so a yemfa ne so wakọ adwuma mu anopa na saa de we say yes na the boss ne tenanim in na ni hu ne boss no. So throughout the day ni nyina no that conflict one the boss enya na so the worker the colleague or adwuma ho nya na said they are not stressing on because what from an opa to anwumre ni nyina no the body is running like this. Inti Paul addressing this issue no the first thing occur once time because what study here the only thing that is going to help you resolve the problem is what you do with time. The longer it takes, the more earlier you are going to die. The shorter you deal with it, the more life you are going to get. And to say na Paul can or say, do not ever let your wrath, that is the conflict in your life, the other explanation as well, the exasperations, Emma will take Emma will give you up air, Emma will lose you, Emma ye furious indignation, Emma bufu, Emma ye den, Emma ye those Emmanuel say, do not let the sun set on them. So war conflict ewo wabusua mu a. The antipa me gidi say Paul can the issue of time and one sem ne say. Yes, conflict the way dan beba it will come and ye beko emu kakra. But the key question is say, one, are you going to kill yourself or you are going to have life? Are you going to allow the cortisol and the adrenalines to keep secreting throughout the days, the weeks, the years? Be kuntem, be shorten your life. And now say you would want to deal with it. In fact, Paul Asamoah can say it is so critical. Say don't even let 24 hours. In fact, I'm being generous here. But say we know say the sunset to sunset about 12 hours on the average. So Paul is actually saying, say, deal with it straight away. Consider it as an issue of emergency and deal with it straight away. Because so when my time not twice so quiet, you will have so much adrenaline and cortisol in your system, you are going to die. Yari empower so that Obeko hospital are taking what we are seeing but you are killing yourself because the issue is not medication in a best of and yet drew in a best of how you retune and recalibrate yourself. That is the solution. And that is what Paul was saying. Say, Emma ebufuo no ade na obuafu hu na wo se etete webre no ema onyuno enkoto. So what else is are we saying here? Conflict ade na deba and Paul ka say mebu ema ewie enkoto so or ka time ne ho asem a. How do we actually bring it to our homes? Ye fear disagreements. Think of the things you and your spouse cannot agree on. We say the intimate and in your middle ground, intimate and come to what we call a compromise. I have my position, she has her position. You can't say we are, agreeing to disagree. Yeah, sometimes, it sounds very nice, but remember that is a source of conflict, and that is a source issue. I cause your eyes, your mind to actually act and start, telling your adrenal glands to do something. Intimacy, disagreements, a bar. Sometimes with the beam, it's okay. Yeah, with the beam. Pastor, what do you said this is killing you, and then they are source of you may say, you know what? Say may lower my pride and may from kakrana magia to me. Yeah, maybe now on a disagreement, but let me resolve it now. Remember, Paul is saying, just do it straight away. My dear crunches. So, yes, sir, that is the medication I'm taking. Otherwise, I'm going to kill myself. A DB protracted arguments. So what can I say? Ebusuya be a moons and some say Ebusuya we say moons and the young because I dear no say inipani somua and me hubi. A hubi. Papa bi meaning pa na say ubusa na semba aku say ya. Ansana ewo asemba na so ubusa na asem ne ho asem a ansana obeba asem ne so no. I just okosha sie free 10 years ago. Baby asem na sha ase na wobeka to ne boase a kyerɛkyerɛ mu na obusa ne sɛ entini nyina no de na yafa ho asasem we say de asem a edi 10 years de ye better de 1 year aka ebeche yenyanto we de prepare ni mu yenyanto eboase nka ina nya de ewum ina kosi de yan kofa ni nyina ba ya wo kyerɛkyerɛ mu a wo de ne ye den na ye den. Protracted arguments, and this is killing us because we don't want to forgive. These are conflicts. A kuyen, a say a warrior, a say a busuya. Nyanonko. Bullying. Medical kahwasem. Bullying. Then a bit me account of bullying. If you are sometimes so direct into your name, you can say bullier. You say the basic tree, but I am say to say and shaswo, so many panel feel is or nothing, authority kakra ne de nyame niema kakra nyame de adom wa wanya power kakra bi nintino wo de hye nipa ne so a 10 minute. That is bullying. And if you are direct, a direct because or the coerce or the force bema bi wɔ hɔ so wɔyɛ nhyɛsoɔ na me deɛ nansen no baabi a m'ani ku ho paa ne yɛ mmɔfra how this is having effects on them because abusua bi wɔ hɔ a maame ne papa no nyinaa yɛ nhyɛsoɔ to the extent sɛ nkwalaa no are suffocating nti onyabrɛ sɛ saa brɛ wei paa menya me ho te me ho firi fie a I'm never coming back. Bullying, and parents unfortunately have become bullies of their own children. And these are conflicts. Remember, adrenaline and cortisol, they are killing and causing diseases. Yaria, yentimin, enti yahuano. So because a wiase has become stressful. What we are saying here, say, a wiase has become, maybe stimulating, the secretion of these in our body. These are the three things I want us to keep an eye on: disagreements, protracted arguments, and bullying. They harm, a say in Nipano. Yamibu watch Nebeka more about hurts, but a nedia ye identify these more, these things about conflicts. Inti DAB, disagreement, arguments, and bullying. So, and yet DAB radio. Next time I bet DAB radio, these are the things you need to keep an eye on. Idea conflicts ever. Now you say conflicts and only determine the quality and the quality.
I don't know why.
I said no, it's okay. So the conflict determines the quality and the quantity of the relationship among family members. One said in terms of the quality, quality the say, how are you busuane papa? How are you, the quality of busuane. But the quantity now the issue of time. Because how are you busuane even a bed lasting? That's a Nijian bed lasting. It's all determined by what we do with conflicts. Now, another profile of conflicts. You can conflict and a profile. What wrong Asamoah can never be na two things. One, say, adia yesua na enre nyina is one of the major causes of conflicts, expectations, and can never me say can no. Imagination gap, interpersonal gap, intertemporal gaps. These three. They are the main and major cause of conflicts. These are the things conflicts. See, to me, managing expectations here, we have actually managed a greater portion of our conflicts. Profile. The occurrence, say, a brebe na esi, anytime, you say, BM or how but the day in still a busuan, they are happy homes. If we say they acknowledge say problems nebeba, but the omo yefa hono eboa ema eba nanso and escalate, and that is the last one ebeka wo ho escalation. Say eba na se we ni hu dwuma one manage one suppress it na se escalate ni kire say etoa so a na safe enyini agigi nhini enya eso flowers say kesia, then it becomes a problem. And this conflict is what kills, what really causes you to be in that perpetual state of hyper alert, to be you never stop. Enti yawa baby ayebu yese empo techrema ene esen eko nanso techrema entu anase esen ense techrema ntu sen esen ense we adentia. It is how we learn to live together. Into a few tips ebi ebetimi aboyen when we talk of conflicts management. Edian ini ebetimi afa ababe ni ebetimi afa efiri mu ene. Fa bre na bia yenhye enema ye bia yenfa yeni emu papa nanso sa enema we say nyina no the conflicts eba yabusuya mu. So the first one enema hyase na yanhwa escalate into major conflicts a cause pain and problems. See, the first one is what we call everyday failures and daily expectations. Everyday failures, niema da bia esisi ewo ye ho. We say conflict no, at it conflict then. Tawantawa di anasa, all this and tawantawa da ebusuan ntem no. Niema de ba no no, niema we nchen every day. Nti ebi eden. Ebi abema da bia no, ubefia ana wo befia na nka wo frɛ but na nsan mu de wo mafie ntem nso a wo mfrɛ sometimes a trivial thing eboana, but these can lead to major conflicts in the home. Enye no nko se befia enre ka ho asɛm kakra, but even ekwan efa so esiesi efie ye wabusua bi wo ho a Bemano is such a way say we are so clean. Say na me pese me fie ye. Oba ne nso ena mo brand ne manimenti no. Ya na brand shede ni ho. Now remember Bemano daily expectation no. Say da bia no ye ohru adwaye ho. Atono no de on ruby because they obey adwuma. It is very shocking. But that is a reality. And it could be minor things. But unfortunately, it can lead to major conflicts where we the meka for busunya sometimes and kwalawom ko bi fie na mami bone banimu pa adan a okodwonso ye wampagya toilet seat no, and ibisa me ho say nipa oye say pa no has never be a time bia wa ya wakoba bia wampagya seat, but these are things they lead to conflicts in the house because ekoso ni nyina no build hatred e wo fie ho, and say yan sort on outer e de ohaw bebre ebeba we infoni na eda ho na especially yen a ye be ware foforo no bia wonko a wote no nko na wote o enti wo ba ya no atade ba ko pe wo de ahange wardrobe man aso de ahange o hanga bi o ha wo de ahange so, but ebra ukọ ware ya fe ni pesate efie ne dọọso no, what live a certain life, sa but uba ware you have forgotten say that life I will live no nipa no so obem no so ono so de ebi ono no normal man say me ba me de mata de egu empa so ana bi me ba fie na me de mata de egu nkonwa mu, and this how we treat our clothes are minor things, but they can escalate into major conflicts. They can be easily avoided. Last one, make your uncomfortable mannerisms. You can't say a day near Kahwasem. And near my ye, especially ye, it will be German cry be a ye anti nature. Because I hear more of impulsive thing near ma. Ebi a ne wukunu ana wona wo yire ade ba ko a wontumi kura ye se wukunu wo nipa mu ana so wote baabi na ode ne nse yi ne hwenem something very trivial, but meaning entokwa asade we say betimi akoso adentia if we say yes onye well mannered, na ntete no na kura de ho na tete wo unam nipa mu ana yese ana say sometimes wo akra wo bia otimi hia bi bia te bus mu pa na obi kasa bedwen say o speech for about 1,000 people tietiem. And the question here say you be a utimi manage. What about if that person eye wukunu ana wo yire na call aba na nipa mu kasa sa but na tietiem sa kasa sa yi, and it leads to conflicts. These are it can easily be avoided, sometimes by talking about it. Jitumu say there is a certain lifestyle na ye nyina ye ka bom a ye ka ho asem no na ye boa ye ho no eboa ema etuo etwa social media use ebi o honso nso a rudeness ankasa se enimguase ugu kuna animase na wo yire animase wo nipa mu. These are all sources of conflicts. Na dien eni ebetimi aye ewo ho. One of the things ebetimi aye helpful suggestions ewo ho ye say wo expectation lower them. Unim, so we lower the expectations, you can start building up together. Because one, yes, sir, you are always, anytime I be free about time, be free, be say, ye yatadi go akonyamu bia no akoma na peja. You when who ya a matrigger straight to the brain, to the adrenal gland, cortisol, ya sorry. Na fe unam fe ho nyina why tin time, why den. Se phone ene beba ahwa hello na beba ni yatem didie sa oba na beka sa ho ahwa be yasumbo adentia just about atade egu akonwa mu. It has triggered. Enti what you do is tell yourself, say before so be refie no and me ko fie, let me see the things that I'm going to see ebe trigger me. One, it's possible say me akọ hu se toilet ne so ayefin. It's possible say me akọ hu se dry ho ayebasa. It's possible say me akọ hu se me bedroom ayebasa. It's possible say me akọ hu se efie entade gonkonwa mu. Tell yourself. And once you tell yourself, and sakra no be epun, what you've done is say you have lowered your expectation. It gradually you deal with it, you manage with it, and it will avoid the conflicts. Ebeba, walk around, it can kill you. Ebekono. It lower your expectations. I'm not saying say Jaufie Basa. No, please don't get me wrong. Name lower your expectations. Let me give you a typical example of the America who answer me in a national sense. Amokaya about 3 or 4 years ago, I don't know, but time I vote to say a free Brexit mono. I said David Cameron resign. Me see a free Brexit. Brexit. You vote to say a free EU mono. David Cameron resign. Any idea Kunyano Emma Theresa May. You know what Theresa May did? The first time Obama public speech on Brexit, what did she do? Or say, these are my red lines. These are the things that are not going to happen. I'm going to go into a negotiation to my certain red lines. The red lines are expectations that they need to be met. They have to be met. And I'm not going to compromise. And what did we see? They were unrealistic expectations. Now gap on this song. I see 2 years, you be free mu. 2 years never so you call parliament, you go vote, yeah, extending the first time. Yeah, to me, yeah, extending the second time. When him said, go back, maybe a referee, but go back and look at every red line at Mrs. May SAT. Did you know that it was those red lines in the course so no? Why? Because these expectations, these red lines, what she did was say she was actually setting herself up for failure. You know what she could have done? I'm not a politician, but what if she came and said, look, this is going to be difficult. This is Bibia in see that the first time it's happening, and we are going to work in such a way, say, what would have happened? Yeah, I'm going to stretch my hand, work with my oppositions. I'm going to do it. I'm not saying so we can achieve this, but we're going to do everything and work. Bia, that would have helped. By this time, I can say yes, you're free, you're free, as we say, but it would have been different. All that I'm trying to say here, say, stop setting so much high expectations any realistic, because they are going to lead to unresolvable, irreconcilable conflicts. Untimi enye ho. It was to me any patience and understanding. We said this is something that hear this in overdose. We hear patience, any understanding, overdose. Proverbs, I can't say, whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered display fully. Ubia uniko kuono sebe oyejimifo. Na di owabotre no inyantiasie. Just one example say daily expectation near we fear possible sebe trigger conflict no. Wunya botre ato bo ase adwene what possibly can happen is part of patience. Unya botre wo ye enya no nko say obrana yinya breaking kan text me and but the Ecclesiastes 7:9 7:8 to 9 or say the end of a matter is better. Asem no kwan fa so end no is better than how it begins. And yes, all the echoes will fear ni nyina no, remember how it ends is better than how it begins, because one way here it will end the say adia na yentuma atade keke negu akonwa mu no can actually mean say ebusuani mu atete papa ko maame ko nkwala are hopeless, everything has messed up regardless here yakwanhwefo, because it is see. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 therefore encourage, that's the word I'm managing, encourage one another. Mame, encourage your husband. Papa, encourage your husband, your wife. Support each other and build each other up. So I can say encourage and support and build each other up, just as in fact you can do. Say the warrior and I said the more. Proverbs 17, can say starting a quarrel is like building a dam. To say we see a dam, we a lake, kind of a mini lake. Why? So drop that matter. Drop the matter before you start dispute. Into jai, asamna who train time, the conflict never no fatuho and suddenly lead to baby I ain't mean ya home. A brain into mammy and Kodia can intend them the fancy. You toss me, you can negligence any deliberate, and the first one here daily things, near my yank it and no be how when you create national trigger conflict. But this part need a negligence and deliberate acts. And near my sima dream say I'm going to do it, and I'm going to my bomber dream maybe yeah. Na conflict at the aba. Menkasa the conflict, but may yeah knowing or not knowing say it can lead to conflict, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And these are things we need to watch out for. Aduane is a hotspot for conflicts. You see, the way to the man's heart is the stomach. A hungry man is an angry man. In the same way to a woman, intimacy, man, never punish your husband with food. In fact, and punish your husband. Whatever the issue is, separate it from food. Because when your body is in short supply of nutrients, it causes the body to be stressed. Na emwa. Bills, any payments. In kasem a big issue our BM. But especially my example, so boom in fact, sometimes this is something that better at. So it doesn't sound like let us sit down, let us know who is doing what, let us have a plan and a what to resolve this conflicts. About intentional delays. Intentional delays here. Then you make a intentional, remember you can't deliberate acts. Near my boat, say a dear way say a was a way yet the boa, then so one yet not a lady to conflicts. Please keep an eye on them. Maybe I'm making what think more about all these things. They are going to be very, very handy when it comes to, because problem is deal with it. The third one, abuse, physical and sexual mistreatment resulting in extreme harm. Well, abuse, let's start by saying this. But let's start by saying this. Under no circumstance in a nyame authorizes it. Whether it is physical abuse, sexual abuse, any form of mistreatment, harm, even God doesn't authorize any of this physical abuses. So, I think it's fair to say a very fundamental, say, maame ene papa te ho, na se physical entokwa etimi bemua, eye better, say they seek temporal separation. And I say this based on the authority of the word of God, until we are not saying it's a divorce. We are talking about temporal separation, because this can hurt, it can kill, it can maim for life. And God does not authorize that. Say eye wo say wo ahoden na ahoden no obe exercise wo kunu ana wo yire so na wo bo no na ade hye ho a, God doesn't accept that, and we need to accept this at a base level, and it's really important. Unim eye maame ne papa fuo ewo fie, the most lasting lesson you can give to your child, say ma omu ne yire ana omu ne kunu, is what you do in their presence, especially when it comes to say we abusive parent. One ma oba, the most lasting lesson, say, yes, grow up in life, but unkwana nyina no, uye bema, boyere, boma, say wom, harm them, maim them. And that is not, there's nothing Christianity about it. There's nothing religious about it. In fact, legally, it is wrong to do that. I mean, you can go to, you know the legal implications, but we are saying, say, it is not acceptable in any sense of the word. And important, say, how can you even abuse obi our yere and ochina and change middle? Where is that coming from? Until we need to be aware. This conflict needs to be managed in so many ways. Some of the things sometimes you need to develop your personality, have a positive personality, develop a positive personality. Sometimes, avoid referring to the past, because all these things cause a lot of abusive relationship. And focus focus on a ama akusuya ya insu a wohwe gu ha say we say enka ya ba ya nka be pa no. Talk about the specifics. Enka say ada na we nipa basasa, this generalization did basa why what do you mean by basa? Be specific. Talk about the real thing. And eboa emma the issue and itimi e deal with it. Enti e dey biem na eka ho asem. Communication. 2 more to go. Communication. Communication. You bet me I spend a whole day talking about communication, but most of the series we say you answer that communication because they are every day they and we keep saying say negotiate, talk, sit down, refer. That is the communication. But when that communication is poor, so communication poor, it is the fundamental principle. Say your family will always have conflicts. Remember, your verbal and non-verbal cues, they all matter. They all can one, and they will do they matter. They matter very well. Said, do I mean what I'm saying? Because in many cases, what we mean is not what we are saying. I improve communication. What are the helpful tips? One, Samuel nipa abusuya mo mofra wo mu a mon agree on a special time. Ebuamo special time for devotion. So untimi nye no throughout the week na maybe once or twice in the week, but agree at this time dear we drop everything. You school me free we say dear, DEAR, which is drop everything and read. Drop everything and read, dear. And it drew a bembo, the bell goes. Teacher near watch that day jar the chere and kwala omuye project obie jai omo pi nyina jai tnafom. You take a book and you read for 30 minutes. And say in ipampo in our institutions, yetimi yesa I believe say nyame fie a ye develop no, we need to have a protected time, a governized time for devotion. Why? Because the devotion is where you allow communication to happen. Devotion in your time where preaching, we share and we talk. Meal times, have some time in the family. They become time set. So and we have to drop everything and eat and sit and eat because they will force us to talk. So you can extend that while the situation of your family will help you. Sometimes take the family out. It could be said once a week, sometime 1 hour in every week. Your time at the be a cycling, you the walk, you the this. And it's so lovely. So what me yes, sir, because a force communication to come on. Playing sports, and avoid shaming and criticizing and lecturing. Be why a cut na table say the nothing yeah point where you say no. Let's drop that expectation. Let's say yeah didi. Let's talk and let's have fun. Dear abaning because we will always have conflict. Sometimes I was a buya negoso. Ye didn't come generally. Then no they who aba ama yetinya discussing some more. Ye can no kama. DBM in a day another hotspot. I was here taking your sharing supply finance. You can't finance once. Finance dear you say finance money is the source of all evil. No correct. Say ukunu spend it too much or you spend it too much. Conflict is already in the house. It will always stay. Say attitude we say so what's that situation more? What do you do? A few helpful tips are to manage financial problems. 1, make up your minds to be on the same team. Try to understand the deeper motivation behind overspending. Yeah? Near aspirations in life. Your near me person. Be no be in life mono. What bread, what go through situation fam pabuakra no the school krana ho into one na the motivation back in the life near says nyame buana say bibi to nsem a obeto entade ahye ana say bia obeto special car bi na ma ne koma ato ne yam because there's a expectation fine but it's also aspiration but this has a whole history behind it enti one so the baware mu a any opportunity bi obenya bia no oto enema bi to special type of suit to be, say scabam someone, yankoje besianium to special type of care be adentia because ebeboa ama makoma atomiyem. Be on the same team. Talk about the past. Don't say you can't communication once, but nema muka mutinasi amuka no and yet about today nkwa. Do you know what you're the past? Do you really know it? Are you willing to share yours? Do you talk more about a niema a so covered, Unim. Samutedin komana samu kofasa niema we say ni na ba ebeyi niema biaba and niema bebraba and sometimes it help mum to reposition marriage financially. And you understand what you must learn to live on. Dear what don't live beyond your means kind of stuff. Dear wunyano, but modern say, your expenses and dear and your brain and kema budget for naturally how to do the budgeter. And kebehu say anytime that the war spending more than the wunyano, you have a natural problem that can only be resolved by sitting down and doing what we call cuts. The UK government say, cuts, and you cut because that is the only way. Sometimes nipa bebree so go through a lot of conflict. Why? Because when you're £1,000 would do exactly £1,000 until at the end of the month when only 1 penny a crowd that is irresponsible. And yet, abrabo papa, you need to have a saving regime. Say £1 and £10. So crown our save. Just do a direct debit because that pound in here, phone and Kaudi tree and Kabasset direct debit do a direct debit to save something for yourself, because you see and contetia who the incusian answer. And tetia the oya say or shene home for winter. Into the word to the wise is there. We should have a direct saving regime. As a family, budget there. Let's make it something that we need to have, regardless. And yes, sir, we will continue to struggle. The last one, I can a distorted belief and unrealistic expectation. You can't It's the maker a distorted belief near say. Uwo entiasebi e will be enya papa. You may have a wrong belief about something, and that wrong belief can actually create a lot of conflict. Where Emma a lot of examples here, but a brain into my can't just back up. So call India tribe bureau or more a certain culture. Now that culture, no, of course, so call worry or your banner so call warrior. No, Bema bar, sometimes Bema horse, so any, but Obano, no, before who can ya the adin, in fact, as the reverse of yang once a Ghana culture, so Obana, Koya Bema, Koya Obama, the reverse of it. Into what is in that, culture, no, say, a man, so that's what who say, bar. In fact, this is open. You can research on this. Some of them, they either put an etie to choke enkwalano in their mouth, and I say omode all kind of things. They find ways to kill a akwalano because of your bar. Inti this cultural practices has led to a belief say Oba is good for nothing, and that has become a cultural, as kind of it happens, and it creates a lot of problems for families. We can talk more about all these things, but the yeka wasem say, especially when you and now we people and cross-cultural marriage, mawari and we free. You need to sit down and understand each other's background. Some of the myths, any niyama, any very open, and open them up. Open those Pandora boxes. Talk about them. Monka huasem na ebua. Some of them you may have to let them go. Look, because I have moved on in life, it must go. If you are so you must consider them as more important than others and place them as a priority in the family. And a boy, Emma believes in creative wrong. The said, don't forget this rule. Remember, said they were worried new situation in TB and a conflict will come. They will come. Oba conflict in the bow, so Bema conflict in the bow, so on the whether say day-to-day conflict, and I say a year near my account will be asem. But remember, only the positive go to the spouses. Remember, a man someone will free one bring the beast out in your spouse. All the negative go to God. Keep on the positive. And mawire mawukunu and your number one fan. So we'll describe on that. Regardless of the akosuni talk positivity and ebeboa ama inshra abba mawariemu. And the question I say, has my understanding of conflict in relationship changed this week? What practical steps stand out for you? Niema yaka ho asemi nyina wo hwe wabusua mu a edin poten pa na betimi ahyase ne a betimi aboa na conflicts. Remember, conflict is you killing yourself, because when you be cortisol, adrenaline, but you have a solution by managing it, lowering your expectations, finding a way. Say, I will talk. Meeting who juma. Na boy. Nyame nhyira yen na ɔnom yen wɔne nso deɛ ɔde n'asɛm ma yen ɛwɔ ne din mu daa. Amen.
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 Amen. Yɛbɛda Nyankopɔn ase wɔ nsɛm a wɔnam n'akoa so de ama yɛn. Pastor Mpacho, who room for questioning?
Yeah. It's fine.
Panyimfoɔ ɛkwan da fam wa asɛmbisa biara wopɛ sɛ ubisa ɛkwan da fam.
Okay, Ada. Ekesi ofenya je kumwai. Ye pastor kana no prep because beginning of the year February, bra Mrs. Tewu Germany no. Na bra openye bo mama ne no. Within 10 minutes after 20 minutes no. Kese nyame nkwan kam sumi se me use conference ni bi ba me so. Ama kese mintimi enye hwe. De me ka che openye se on fa me nko hospital de me ho ye me no me ku bi se me ho ti se me ho so eti me ka so ti se na me se bo panyi wo de fa me ko so de me ko aha hospital e family o mo de me ko ya wo mo ho me a so mo etaki me na mo ma me nsuo so mo de nsuo si me so ewie ye betwe me moja within be say 2 hours time no ma ba be kan che me se senia me the pastor kan no conflict no
Adrenaline ne cortisol, yeah.
Yeah, I found body ni nyina che say e na medwin na opanyi ka che doctor ne say Mrs. Wune bra obo mama ne no na o say ani enu nti doctor no examine and so it petuntum oba o ne me kasa pa ma che say tomo me say you do be anaju 10 o'clock p.m. Omu jaye 6 o'clock a.m. Che say let me to me yet just let me think that day no think a man quite think I'm cross my first way would be. There's a senior is still call me on a man so soon is that man tenny yari and to block and you bomb man yes and you have you know. Just say me was on the side and not the same with the other and the whole day and 1 more money. Must be there be just a mouth with the just say Pastor and yeah easy but me then you have to say bra me free hospital by next day no ni week na me call hono ene asanta memra kese me koye suwie ye no saya no efiri ni mu anya me adom maye okay enti ye no krepa tane ya wo kana ya enti me se nya me se bibi sa eto ye ne a de ye betimi aya ne ne a wo kyerɛkyerɛ ye ne se ya ebe maye ahoɔden ibenya abotre na ya fa nyame aben ye ne de nyame sɛm nyame asɛm akyekye ye yure na ama yetimi atna yeah just me dey kakra yetimi akana no yeah no crepa
I mean, sure, Auntie Christy, I think this is a good example. Unfortunately, the content if you say woo any other but Asamoah can one thing that may train a TF in address and say you medication at the man on or hospital by medication at the man on was what talking. Talking, just bringing your whole body down because yes, Anna, Emma, glance no ejai the secretion, ejai we say na day banono na fe, a wear out in the blood. Enti say when we yere impo say eniema chire so say dean na say utimi eka say onim. Let's go for a walk. You would have saved yourself maybe a year. Because what you are doing, the moment I best step out, it relaxes the body, it brings the body back to basics. As it resets and recalibrates the body. Now, it leads to internal happiness, a state of contentment. Now, abuaye, I mean, shout auntie for the example.
But before I'm patch obi a question Bill. Obi a question and answer experience or person share. Okay. Obi any question there and you better told me the answer. Okay. Your best friend to follow normal to your team song no amayen. See we are your best friend nipa mienu abompaya amayen. Don't forget any Wednesday kay empire border. The odi kai no ɛbɛbɔ mpaeɛ adesua yi a Onyankopɔn ɛnam so de ama yɛn no ɔbɛme ahoɔden ɔbɛme nteaseɛ yɛtumi ade ayɛ ne yɛ asɛm no yɛfoɔ deɛ ɔtɔ so mmienu no de ade sɛdeɛ nyinaa even though yɛn kan but yɛgya Nyankopɔn no ɔnim dada na ɔde bɛhyɛ Onyankopɔn nsa wie a na Pastor Asamoah ɛkyerɛ so ama yɛn